That's my intro. Anyway, let's get on with it. So we talked about national carriers, right? Listen, I don't know how to put a title to these videos yet. I'm restarting this, and I'm not doing it on my Insta360, so bear with me. It's just gonna have dates on it. Hopefully the people that know me share it, like it, do whatever. Once again, I don't do this for money. I do this for educational purposes, my experience, my point of view. Okay? You don't have to believe anything I say. Go research it yourself. Go look it up. Go talk to truck drivers. Go see if they got the same experiences. We all have almost the exact same experiences with these companies, yet and still it's not talked about. Okay? And companies will come on and tell you guys, oh, this, that, and the other, and then they'll letter. See, they did this and they did that. See right here, we talked to them about this, but then you don't have any evidence of that conversation. You don't have any evidence of the damage that they say. You have no evidence of any of that, yet and still they'll tell you this is why we did what we did. Okay? Yeah. It's just mind-boggling. Okay, so next company I went to was Celadon. Okay, met a real good friend of mine named Jabril. Rest in peace, my brother. I'm keeping your other brother company. That's my boy. That's my brother from another mother. What's up, Kerry? This one for you and Jabril, baby. Okay, so Jabril. I met Jabril through orientation at Celadon in 2010. Now, I'm telling y'all his name because I didn't, right before he passed, I had been calling this guy Brenham. I have been calling that guy Brenham for so long. So long, man. And he was like, I don't know, I said, I heard other people calling them different things. And so I asked him, I said, hold up. What is your name, bro? He said, my name is Jabril. I said, and you been letting me call you Brenham this entire time? You see how it's meant out? Yeah, it just, you good. No big deal. I know what you meant. It wasn't disrespectful. I'm like, but you let me call you Brenham this whole time, man. He was like, it don't work. It don't matter. But that guy there is the only witness to when I tell you something and I'm going to do something, I literally do it. Okay? So here we go. Went to Celadon in 2010. The original owner was still alive. This owner talked about how he was a $10 million company and didn't owe any money to any bank for any reason. Okay? When he explained his plan, me and Jabril got to see that he basically takes money from drivers. He basically steals pennies. 3 cents here, 4 cents here, 2 cents there, 3 cents here. Those pennies add up. Yeah, I see how you're $1 million company. Okay? He had Celadon bought out 3 companies, maybe 4. Okay? They bought out Warrior Express. They bought out Continental Express. They bought out, if I'm not mistaken, this was 2 companies this was 1 company in 2 different divisions. Eagle was the dry van part of it, and FFE was the refrigerated part of it. They bought out all those companies. Okay? Now, this is just my opinion. Can this be a fact? It's a possibility, but at the same time, I can guarantee you no other drivers may be able to verify and vouch for me for this. I don't understand how Celadon went out of business or bankrupt, he passed away, being that they're the company that brings the drugs in from Mexico. All the drugs, fentanyl, all them, that's the company that brings the drugs into America. That was the company. I'm going to explain to you how in just a second. So, they say we can drive as hard as we want and so on and so forth. My first load was going to Loveland, Colorado. This is when we were on paper logs. Once again, time to work. Loveland, Colorado, DC for Walmart. Okay, from Indianapolis, where they were located at. It was a load that was on the yard or something. I went up the usual way, 287 through Liberal. Got there, laid down, went to sleep. Right. This is when we were on paper logs. Okay, paper logs was still a thing. On top of being on paper logs, there was something that us drivers had to do that stated we had to learn how to wait 2 extra minutes or a minute extra past the time that you really wanted, because the clocks in the trucks or the clocks at the place didn't line up. So let's say, for instance, you needed 10 hours, right? You needed 10 hours off duty, and you was off duty 10 hours, but 10:01, it was just 10:00. Until that one popped up, you wasn't off 10 hours. You had to wait until 10:01. You had to wait 1 minute past your time for the clocks on the truck or the clocks on the computers to register that you've actually been off 10 hours to the second. Like, so if you went off duty at whatever time, let's say 7:30, 45, you had to be off 10 hours into whatever time 10 hours was, plus the 30, plus the 45, plus another minute. You had to wait another 60 minutes, okay, in order for it to register as 10 hours off duty. That 1 minute said I missed. I was only off duty for 9 hours and 15 minutes. That 1 minute. So they called me on the phone, first load, to tell me pull over. But on 287, there's nowhere to really pull over, especially when you between Lehman, Colorado, and whatever the last little town is that you go through up 287. It's not really a place that you can pull over. You got to ride it out. So they told me I had to pull over and do 10 hours. So when I got the lineman, I pulled over and did 10 hours. I had to do 10 hours plus 3 more hours, right? Now I'm late. They still took it because I was only late by 30 minutes or something like that. After that load, they gave me another load, and I went back to the yard. Went in to talk with them, see how their clocks work. And so I'm telling you how their clocks work because this is how they told me how their clocks work, and so on and so forth. So, being that they messaged me for 30 minutes, but I can't pull over and do anything. I hear the thing say pull over and take a 10 hours. There's nowhere to pull over. Because I didn't pull over immediately, my first load, I went from a new hire to level 3 Last warning. Next warning, you terminated. First load. No problem. I will drive how y'all want me to drive. No problem. I'm going to give you time plus some. No problem. Doing that, I never had a paycheck that was over $450. I never had a paycheck that was $450 at Celadon. I couldn't get the miles. Couldn't get the miles. So whatever, I think I was making maybe 30 cents, something like that, maybe. And could not get the miles. Because I was on level 3, couldn't jump over to LP until I came off of level 3. You know, when you come off level 3, a year. You got to stay out of trouble for a year. Remember what I told you? He said something about not owing anybody any money. I hope I don't get in trouble for this. They bankrupt now. They out of business. They dispatched me on 2 different loads out of Laredo, Texas. And anybody y'all know, when you come through that border check, they ask you a few questions. They ask you if you're an American citizen. And look what I look like. I look like I'm somewhat Mexican. And my last name is Senor, right? They make you open up the curtain, right? They make the dog, you can see the dog walk around your truck. The 2 loads I pulled for Celadon out of Laredo, Texas, they backed away from the truck. They moved the dogs away from the truck and told me to go on by. I had never had that and I haven't had that since I haven't been with Celadon. Okay? Then these loads or this trailer would drop off in the middle of nowhere. Nobody signed my paperwork. There were other trailers there or something like that, but there was nobody there. Right? There was no guard shack. If there was a guard shack, nobody was in the guard shack. The location I dropped off in the middle of nowhere. My next empty trailer is 300-400 miles away somewhere else. Okay? I had never seen that. I did that twice. As a matter of fact, Jabril didn't even know one time he was carrying 3 prototype Audis in the back. He had went to a car place. He said he thought he was at the wrong place because he ain't had no car hauler. He had 3 Audis back there. Okay? So, drive-in, if you get smaller cars, you can put cars in your trailer. You can haul cars in your trailer. You just need a ramp to put them in. And if you put them on at the place, they'll put them on at the dock. And when you get to wherever you're going, they should have a dock for you to take them off. You can haul cars on your trailer. You just got to be able to climb your skinny, fast self out of the window without breaking nothing, right? And you can't damage some people's cars. So, I don't understand. I only did 2 of their loads. So, I then understood how they made their money and how they made extra money and why they were a $10 million. This is the owner telling us, a $10 million strong company without owing anybody else any money. You can go and do the research yourself. This was 2010. He had bought up Warrior Express, Continental Express, FFE, and Eagle was the same company. Just drive-in was Eagle, refrigerator was FFE. Bought them out. Bought them out. All of a sudden, they filed for bankruptcy in 2019, right before COVID. Right? Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So, oh, okay. Yeah, this is 2010 when I was with them. So, cool. That was that. Something came up was staying in Texas. My car was still registered in Louisiana. The young lady I was dating at the time told me that we had a notice on the car that we had to update our tags real soon because my tag had expired, and I had to go through Louisiana to get it. And I don't travel back to Louisiana after Hurricane Katrina that much, so I had to do it online. I was able to do it online, so right, and get that done. Once I got that done, before I got it done, I thought I had to go in person. So I told Celadon to send me home. So I'll go take care of something. Message. I'm sorry. 1 second. These are just my stories. You can ask any truck driver. They'll tell you Qualcomm. I personally say text. When you start having issues with a trucking company, text. No more talking. Pause. Sorry about that. So, when you start having issues with a trucking company, text. Text and text only. Text and text only. Don't do nothing else. Don't do nothing else. Don't talk to them on the phone, none of that. I did Qualcomm. Why Celadon said they had no messages from me. They never received a message from me. They have no clue what I'm talking about. Biggest check I had was $448. Biggest check. I'm going a month. Most drivers will drive like this, and most drivers won't. I drive a month at a time, and then I'm off anywhere from 7 to 9 days. Sometimes, if I did real good and with money, maybe 14. Because I like consecutive days off especially if I'm in a relationship. As of right now, I'm not in any relationships. I'm married to my motorcycles. I'm done with that. I don't recommend that for nobody. It's not even worth your time. It's not. They're delusional. We're gonna get to that when I'm done with these trucking companies. So then let's see. They tell me something that they don't have the information. I make a delivery somewhere in maybe Wisconsin. Almost to Canada, right? So when I make that delivery, I tell my boy Jabril, I'm going home. He said, no, you're not, bro. You ain't about to drive the people. I'll say, I'm going home. Why? Because remember when I got in an issue with them let me go back some. When I got in the issue with the license, with the logbook, I was on level 3. I talked to them in person about making more money or getting more miles, right? It was me and 2 other Celadon drivers in Norfolk, Virginia. I got there first. I was only 19 miles down the road, right? 19 miles. I drove there and went straight into the dough. The third guy that got there said he was an hour and a half away, and he got there, right? It took them an hour to load me. That means that driver now has 2 hours off of his books. You know, off his 12, off his 14, everything. Off his 10 and off his 14 back then, because it was 10 hours and 10, 14. We didn't get the 11 hours until maybe 2015, 16. Help me out, drivers. 15, 16, when they gave us 11 hours, 11, 14. So miles a week. He's bragging about how he don't stop and take breaks and none of that. Hold on, people. I'm telling him, man, you lying. I know you lying. I know you lying. I go and he shows me his Qualcomm. He don't have a logbook. So he ain't got no logbooks. He said, I'm about to quit. I keep trying to quit or bring them back to the truck. They keeping me away from the yard. I'm trying to get them their truck back. I've been telling them brought me to the yard for a minute. The second driver, he was maybe about 30, 45 minutes away. So once again, it took me an hour, okay, to get loaded. I'm only 20 minutes down the road. The load we have, all three of us are going to the exact same spot. It is a 12-hour drive. Somewhere in Kentucky. It's at the tip where right before it gets to, it's in the Panhandle over there. And you got to go up into Kentucky, go up and then come back down because there's no way to it. Okay? There's no way to it. So you got to go across 64 and it was raining. Everybody know what 64 is. Roller coaster. I stopped. By the time I drove my hours, I was in Hurricane, West Virginia at the TA truck stop. We all got to do a 10-hour break. Why that third driver made it 5 hours before I got there. Not lying. No lying. That means he didn't stop. He didn't take his break. I mean, he ran over his break. Okay? If he did take a break, he didn't take a full break. This is Celadon. So when I go in and ask him about making more miles, I'm like, y'all got the miles to spare. Why? I'm only getting less than 1,000 miles a week, maybe 1,500 or something like that. And you got this guy with 4,000 miles. 1,000 of the miles he don't need. How you get? Oh, who is that? I don't need to tell you. Y'all got a system right there that can tell you all the miles that each and every driver gets. So I'm not lying to you. Go look at it. Go find it. You have me on level 3. Grounds of termination if I get in trouble again. Yet and still, this person is driving above and beyond. Drivers, help me out. Help me out, drivers, on this one. Rainbows, the birds are singing. You can feed the squirrels by hand. You can talk to the meadows, whatever the case may be. You can talk to the trees. The streams are flowing. Beautiful. 3,500 miles is the most any driver can drive in 1 week. That's it. That's it. No traffic, no weather, no hold up from a ship or a receiver, no sitting and waiting. Fuel just jumps into your truck as you pass by each and every gas station. Is in there, right? 3,500 miles legally. That's it. That's it. That's the most you can do. With driving all your hours, taking all your breaks. 3,500 miles is the most you can do in a week. Help me out, fellas. This guy was driving 4,000. Anything past 3,500 miles, you are illegal. No foolishness. No nothing. You are illegal. If you could get to 3,300 miles in a week, you're doing great. You're doing great. If you percentage all by the mile, you're doing great. Okay? So, jump to having to make that load of delivery in Michigan. Once I made that load up in Michigan, I drove down 35. I'm on the phone with Jabril. I say, man, if they didn't turn off this fuel card and they let me get fuel, I'll be home in the morning. I didn't care about how I was driving. When I was going home, I quit. This industry in itself has a 99% turnover rate. 98% turnover rate. Very few people retire as drivers from any company. If you don't believe me, look at Yellow. Yellow would rather go bankrupt than to put the money that they owe those drivers who have sacrificed for the 20 years, the 30 years, taking pay cuts to put money into the company to keep the company afloat, right? Everything those drivers did to keep themselves a job and keep the company rolling, right? The company refused to put $50,000 into the retirement accounts of those people. Hold on, pause. Sorry about that. So, I was able to fill up in Rockford, Illinois. I told you, man, I'm gonna be home. I don't know what, I think it was maybe 9, 10 o'clock that night. By 3 o'clock the next day, I was sitting in my living room. Their truck was turned in Waxahachie, Texas. That's what Celadon on 35, Waxahachie, Texas. Celadon got a terminal right there. Well, they had a terminal, right? I turned in my bills of lading, all my paperwork, the keys. I cleaned out everything. Dropped their truck off. I'm done. Why? You're not doing me what JB Hunt did me. Put me out somewhere and say get home the best way you can. Or put you on a bus and you got to travel 5, 6, 7 days, and then you got to carry all that stuff with you. You want to fire me? I have no problem with you firing me. Send me to my house. I can take my stuff off of your truck and then dispatch me back to whatever terminal you want your truck at, especially the one closest to me. I want to be at the one closest to me, and I need to be paid before I leave. All my money. They don't like to do that. They will abandon you, which will be my next video with Booker Transportation. Yep. So I quit Celadon, got fired from Booker Transportation. We'll talk about that one in the next video. I don't know how to put the titles on this on YouTube. I just downloaded YouTube Studios or something like that. So we'll see how this works out, okay? These videos are in response of that guy up there in Chicago, and they replied back with just a letter. I don't trust that. I trust that guy more than I trust that letter. I trust that guy more than I trust that letter. As a matter of fact, we're gonna get to that later. I have a lawsuit that I'm currently in right now, and I'm gonna give you the full detail on it when we get to it. Until then, love each other. Peace.